This was kind of a fun little trade, and I want to show you guys the setup from the previous night that I was trying to play that didn't happen. So I was believing that we were going to break out of here and we were going to crush it up. That's level, and then of course, as it hits levels, etc. Ultimately it would be an interesting day if it hit the white. I was thinking maybe a 42 if we really boogie, a 103 to 122, but that doesn't matter. What I want to show you is trading the open and how it relates to getting wrecked or not getting wrecked. So if we look at 930 is kind of the open, and one of the things that I noticed from yesterday is I had these lines already drawn, but this was a base. This was my secondary base based on last night, and then based on earlier in the day I had this as a base. So you had up, break it, etc. So I had a feeling in the morning, if we go back, let's go back to the 1, so we can get a look at the craziness that happened and how, if you're new to some of the morning stuff, you will get physically wrecked. So 930, which is here, right? So here's that innocent 929. So just to let you know, we were in this area here, and we went all the way up and then shot all the way down and then continued up. Now that doesn't mean we can't continue to break down and so forth, but I want you to look at the ranges here. So if we were, let's just say 902 over 10 points, right? So if you thought we were going short, it wicked you 10. Pops down, it shoots up, shoots down. Now if you thought we were going long, this is also funny. I think I had a trade in at the baseline here, and it went, so I was at 93, but how convenient, it goes to 861. And if we look at this base here, 886, I mean, you're just getting crushed. But what does this correspond with? I'm sorry, it's the low of a previous day. It's the 1 minute's probably not the best to look at it with. But if we jump over to the 22nd, we can see that baseline on that low. We have another one down here. And if you were playing off of, some people like to play the wicks. You get these sporadic moves and you try to make a judgment based on, will it fill me off this very quick move up or very, very quick move down? And then where's a safe entry? Where's a safe, where I'm not just going to get smacked? So kind of a good point is to look at a previous low of another timeline. So if we were playing here, the next really base is here, and then if we go further back, I'm sure there's another base. But this would have been the entry to take on a long, off of the order fills that just crashed. And then if you took this, which would make sense, right, just based off of here, it's going to hit here and continue up if we're playing this pattern. But then you're what, 108.92, we'll give them the 5. right? And we went down to 108.60. You would have to eat 32 points to play that out. Isn't that bananas? So, however many contracts you want to play, you would have to be able to eat that swing, or you're automatically going to get stopped. So that's another thing. If you're going to play an open, don't stack load all in one place. You'll get wrecked. Do 1 to 2 contracts maybe, but because you'll get stopped out. Or if you're in a particular combine or something of that nature, you're going to take this massive hit that you wouldn't have to take. And the other option is just don't trade the morning. Just wait, Wait for this massive move up, massive move down. It hit this level here. It did break it, but then it continued down. So I'm hoping that we pull back down to here and do a continuational up move. We might not. I did play the open rather aggressively. It was an interesting play. But I would recommend, go light, because you're looking at these massive swings. All these orders are coming in, both directions, and it's just bam, we'll go back to the 1 minute. We can see a better, whip of it. But I mean, this happens just bang, bang, happens quick. Seconds. You're covering from 916 all the way down to 862 very quickly. So it looks like we're just gonna base off that top there. So that probably won't get filled. But it's early in the day. Take your own charts, do your analysis. But a neat trade, if you wanted to play the open and you were trying to play the wicks, it doesn't always work. But go ahead and find a previous low, and then get your entry and your stop loss. And then if you're 10 points, put your entry here, go down 10. Hopefully you don't get wicked, and you might catch a nice runner, or you might get just destroyed. But if you are going to play the open, go light, don't go heavy. Don't load up on 10 contracts or something insane. Try to do 1 to 2. Or if I was really bullish on my open, because I was looking at the base it was attacking, so attack. Now, a lot of times, after kind of 3 hits, it normally breaks it. So, I mean, you could also make an argument that we were in the midst of going down. But when you look at a bigger picture, maybe a bigger picture, you can see we've kind of respected this area. This area has been like an uptrend, a little bit of an up. Now we broke it, but I thought we would continue that line of support. So if we went to a daily, I mean, granted we could have just collapsed, but if you look at the meat of the bars, they kind of all are within this area of support. Bang, go up, and the question is, how much do you have to eat for that before it continues on its upward move? If the meat of the bar, not a wick, but the meat of the bar starts to break this, then you can expect a boogie. So that was my overall analysis. That's how I wanted to play it. I still think we're going to have a bullish day today. I know it's in the beginning of the day. At least for now, we'll have a bullish first half. The other thing to talk about is you need to have a philosophy in your mind when you're doing this type of trading that every day is a new or better opportunity. So regardless of whether you crushed it yesterday, got wrecked yesterday, the one thing you want to do is preserve and protect your capital, which is a little risky on playing the opens. So you may not want to play the opens at all, and then just wait for calculated moves. But do your research, find your areas of support that you want to play, and then if you have a rough day, just stop. Don't worry about it. Don't trade the nighttime. Don't do anything. Just continue. Get a good sleep. Start fresh the next day, because there's always going to be an incredible opportunity the next day. I could take you through daily after daily after daily, and we can break down a day. You can watch some of my other videos, but during the day there's going to be, you're probably going to have more than a couple opportunities. Sometimes you'll have a bunch, sometimes you'll have maybe 2 major ones. You might have some minor plays you can make, but you will always have an opportunity to make a profit. So never think that you're under the gun. Just play what they give you, and then know that everyone knows the best areas of entry. Everyone knows the best areas to sell. So you are going to have points where, if someone was to play a line similar to this, right? Look at the crushing blow that was for everybody. Just massacring people, right? Before you get this upward movement. So if you had, maybe you thought, oh, well, you know what? We're just eating total dick here. I'm going to play long off this line, right? They know that. So the next time around, you might get a little wick. You might get a further move down. You might get these flash moves. Granted, this is a daily, but you pretend it's a different time frame just for conversational topic. But when it goes back to the meat of the trade or the meat of the bar, most of the time, this is a game of money sold, money bought. Regardless of the timelines you put it in, a bunch of people sold, a bunch of people bought. And eventually sellers get exhausted, and buyers step in. It's a back and forth game. And we're day traders, so we're trading the minuscule daily moves of the NASDAQ. A lot of investors will trade. They'll trade yearly trends. If you invested in the S&P 20 years ago, I mean, good God, it's just been an ocean of upward movement. Not so much during this administration, but you get the point. We're here for the day. What can I get in a day? Where do I see it's going to go? Do I think it's bullish? Do I think it's bearish? And then make my trades based on the best analysis I think it can do. So, I mean, even based on, let's do a smaller time. We'll just do a 15. Even based on the 15, you can see the meat of that area where you think you should go long, but you can just see where it's wrecking people. And then when it finally comes back, you can see the momentum. So, let's see what happens. Right now we're retracing. We'll see if we break and continue a downward move. That would be scary, but it is what it is. Don't be afraid to play the market in whatever direction it goes. That's another thing. Some people are like, some people feel more comfortable just going long or short, or they may go down to the smallest time factor ever. And some people like to play you know, trend lines. I would not recommend that. I'd recommend playing levels, and then be patient. If you didn't want to play the open and you just waited for that fuckery to happen, see, that's so tough though. You would have had to have waited for it to go whop whop whop, and then you could have put a buy in, and then you could have caught that. Or if you missed that, it stopped, and you see it kind of. It's tricky to play the open, but let the war continue, let it evolve, and then make your decisions based on areas that represent logic. So if you have your next level up and you see it broke it a little, pull back instantly, and then shot up again, pull back, you know, it's wiki. You know, the pullback was to there, right? So that's, I was kind of hoping to be further, but I still think, you know, we could hopefully have a little bit more of a bullish up movement. You know, I would like to see us get at least to there, and then ideally a little higher. But that's just playing the open. You know, I made a bad trade the other day. I think I was playing off of either this line or this. No, I think it was this line. It was during the after hours session, and then so I played off here. I had my stop loss underneath, and then I still somehow got wrecked. So I don't know if it gapped or what happened there. My wife was killing me, and I had to go somewhere. And I thought, you know what? I got my stop losses in. I'll be cool. But it's still ate dick on that. But you know, we draw these lines for a reason. You know, we look at the support. If you think you're gonna be in a situation, the point of this video, where it's gonna be crazy, you're gonna get some moving, go ahead and go a level down, or just don't play it at all. I guess that's the advice I can give you. To the victor go the spoils, but also, like I just said, even if you miss this, who cares, right? You could also play the range. Well, you know what? We're right back in this range again. So, you know, I think it's a bullish day, but, you know, if you wanted to short it, play that bar on a short. Granted, it's 15. Yeah, let's see how slow it really was on the pullback. I really should draw that bar all the way over. But you could have played a short off of that. You could have caught it down to that level. That's not a bad play. I should have carried that line all the way over. And now we're back here, top of the base. So if you wanted to short this base, I think it's going to go up, but let's say hypothetically you just wanted to short it. You would have minimal stop loss, right? Because you're at the top. So if you were to short here and it goes down, you're great. If you were to take a long here and you're just hoping it shoots up, because it does have some play to boogie down. You know, you're kind of going long at the top here. Which is a great book, Buy at the Highs. Or what is that? I'm sorry, I reversed that. Yeah, Buy at the Highs, Sell at the Lows. No, that was correct. It's funny as fuck. But all I'm saying is, you know, look at opportunities also based on, you know, the position of the area. You know, so, you know, maybe we go down to the 2. Maybe we skyrocket up. It's kind of creating a new area here. Or maybe you go to a much larger time frame and it's not within your wheelhouse. You don't care. You know, maybe you're playing off the meat here. But, you know, let it play out. Have some fun. Maybe you feel like that 15-minute bar it did wick down. Oh man, it's got some bullish pattern to it. Play it how you see it. You're gonna learn. But this was a fun morning. I just thought, if you did want to play it, you know, look for another level down. Like I said, it is an interesting an interesting opportunity to play the mornings. It's scary. You know, if you just played the best entry, you probably got wrecked, right? So you kind of want to play outside where you think it's going to go, and it will a lot of times hit there because it's very aggressive in the mornings. But yeah, draw your lines, do your research. I like to do things like, you know, this is obviously from the night before, but I'll also, like every morning, sometimes I like to start fresh, and I'll just take my tools and I'll erase everything, and then I'll look at it from a new perspective every day, you know, and then go from there. But a lot of times I'll just redraw some of the basic lines, you know, that you just see right off the bat looking at certain time frames and stuff. But before you trade, when you start, you know, pre-trade, I would always recommend going back, you know, and looking at a couple days worth of data, and then making your own lines, you know, looking at what could be a possible base for a bottom, you know, the meat of it, the wicks, you know, kind of trying to figure out, all right, does this make sense, you know, this day, if we were to absolutely eat garbage, you know, where do you think the lowest garbage point would be? You know, sometimes you need these wicks, even though they may not feel important, sometimes they are. But yeah, if you want to draw, I like to draw new lines all the time, but it just helps me reiterate the previous day's action plan, because the market, even though you may want it to go up, there's no guarantees, man. You know, there's no guarantees it's going to be a bullish day. There's no guarantees we're going to hit, you know, the areas I wanted it to hit. But yeah, have fun, learn, find something that suits your style, and hopefully, you know, stay positive. Every day is a new opportunity. And if you play your levels correctly, there's going to be better opportunities for you to make money. You know, it's the simplest form of this game is a bunch of people fucking sold and they bought, and then that's pretty much it, buying and selling. And it's your job to figure out at what point do the buyers come in, and at what point do the sellers exhaust themselves. And it's tricky, man. You know, it's not always easy. Should have a 4-hour in here. I never programmed that, but you know, sometimes it's sell again, and you're thinking, oh, I could base off here, maybe. No, you're wrecked. To sell again. After a monstrous drop off like this, we'll go to a bigger time frame. You know, when we get this monstrous drop down, you're thinking, what the fuck is going on? But if you just went back in time to the, you know, good old 1110, you know, you can see kind of an area where it starts to slow down. And then if you took it further, you can see where it runs out of gas. Let's see if it's right about the meat of the third, you know, but right in this general area it starts to run out of gas. But it's just buying, selling, right? So right now we're in this low point where if we don't have a total collapse, another catastrophic news event, we hopefully will be in an upward mode. Yeah. And like I said, you don't need this. If you caught that, God bless you. But, you know, these little tiny moves are more than enough to make a decent amount of money. You know, if you put a trade in there and you put a trade in at the bottom, and then you know, or if you did 2 and 2 down there and then just had a kill switch, I mean, you probably would have eaten 1500 if it just totally collapsed. Or, you know, you might have made a quick 2400. It just depends on, you know, your style and, you know, how you like to play stuff, or how sure you feel that your analysis is. Or you could say, you know what, that's too much left to chance. You know, I want to be able to build off of, you know, my style of trading. So then you just wait. You wait for shit to base. And then, you know, you look at areas of support that are starting to get built up. You know, whether you like it or not. You know, that area in there is kind of a support area, right? And then how do we know if it's going to hold? Well, look, it fucking holds up right there. Now we're continuing an upward move. Are we going to break it? I don't know. But that's all the video I want to go over with for today. It was just an opening trade. And then obviously different timelines are in play. Find a timeline that suits you, but I would also say look at all the timelines. Because sometimes certain things are happening that you are not going to catch on a 15, the same small breakdown you might catch on a 5, right? You know, there's different breaks, you know, obviously not there, but there's different breaks that you can catch on smaller timelines. And you know, in the NAS, these little moves, that's quite a bit of money, or quite a bit of points, I should say. You want to be able to capitalize on that stuff. And then also, when it comes to like, where's this fucking thing going? That's where your larger timelines come into play. You know, I doubt you're going to be able to trace that on a 1 minute. A lot of like, damn, that was below everything that I, you know, kind of drawn in this general area. Well, then you go back to your larger time frames and you realize, oh, I get it. Okay, I see where we're basing from, and so you can utilize the data, and you get a decent idea of kind of what's in play and what's going to happen. And then that's day trading, man. The more you practice it, the more you'll have a better opportunity, and the more better you'll be. And the rest is just mentally knowing when to let it go. You know, I think human nature, we want to be in the game. We're winners. We don't like losing. We don't like taking a hit. But you also have to think, I need to protect my capital, or for some reason I've let my mental state slip into something of a stressful anxiety. I'm no longer in a fluid, calm killer. Now I'm more of a, you know, you need to understand your mental state also. And if you don't feel like you're in that state, take a break. If you had a rough morning, stop trading, come back in on the second half of the day. You know what I mean? Come back in after lunch. Come back in at 1 o'clock. You know, play the 1 to 3:30. You know, look for those, 1:30 to 3:30 turnarounds. You know, it happens. You know, but people have to start making decisions on their positions, before 4 o'clock. So normally that 3:30 to 2:30, and then some of those positions even get done earlier than that. Look for patterns, timelines, learn the tool you're trading. So if you like the NASDAQ, obviously you're going to get a lot of sewing machine movements just to go in a certain direction. It's not, there's opportunity all over the place. But if you just went off of basic levels, you know, you can see where, you know, these levels tend to react, tend to react, tend to react, tend to react, you know, and so forth. So, you know, find a style that suits you, but I would say I would say the hardest part about day trading, once you learn once you feel comfortable with whatever analysis you want to use, is mental. Have a good day.